my Armenian identity was always there. It wasn't as prominent as it is today, but it was always there inside me. And when we had the first genocide commemorative resolution, which I authored in the Assembly and George Zookmajian authored in the Senate, it was the first time the members of the legislature had even heard about the genocide. This was 1967. And as a result, I felt it was my duty to educate them, and I did, and also to be sensitive to Armenians who came to me for problems no matter where they lived. I'm not so sure other Armenian American legislators shared that philosophy, but I was always open and willing to help Armenian Americans who had problems, whether they came from El Centro or Sacramento or Alpine County, not just in my district on the east side of Los Angeles. Well, my entry into politics was largely motivated by John Kennedy. I admired, fell in love with, captivated by Kennedy and the entire Camelot era. So he was clearly one. Then I had a great admiration for Lyndon Johnson, who was able to get things done in a legislative environment. He was the master of bringing people together and getting things done. I then went on to Hubert Humphrey, who I knew personally the best of all of them, and he was such a wonderful, kind, thoughtful man. I liked Ronald Reagan. He was charming. We used to say, when Reagan talks to you, keep your hands in your pockets because he's going to pick your pockets. And he was so charming that he would often do that. We would vote for stuff of his that if it had been another Republican governor like Pete Wilson or George Zookmajian or Arnold Schwarzenegger, we would have never voted for his stuff. He had that great charm, so you could call him one of my heroes. Then on the state level, I had great admiration for a fellow who followed me as majority leader, Mike Roos, as well as the one who preceded me as majority leader, George Zenovich. I had an excellent relationship and an admiration for the young Hispanics that were breaking down barriers to get into politics, primarily Richard Alatorre and Art Torres, as they came into the legislative environment. They were sharp, well-educated. Calling them heroes might be, well, it's a trite and worn-out phrase. You know, anytime somebody is killed in a war, they call him a hero. I'm applying a higher standard than just serving with them. They were men of integrity and men who would get things done.